Hi friends, this is Amlan Devnath, your instructor for today's class. Today we'll be learning about classes. I will give you a basic introduction to classes in this video. So it will be very much clear to you what is class and how does it work. Let's begin. Class is nothing but a data type, our customizable data type which we can use in our programs where we need to make a customizable one as per our requirements. What are data types? For example, int, string, and we have float. All those are data types. Similarly, class is also a data type which can be customizable. So to create an integer variable, what do we do? We just do a is equal to 5. Simple. So our class, while creating a variable using a class, this should be simple, right? But there's a simple tweak. What in another way we can create a integer variable is a is equal to int 5. Now if we get to know the type of this variable, it would be easier for us to understand, right? So let us see what is the type of this a variable. Print type a. So by this way we can know that what is the type of a variable. Let us run this one. You can see a is of type int, which is a class. So int is also a class, and we also know int is a data type. So int, string, they are class and also a data type. So from here you can understand that class is also a data type. So how to create a class? Let me show you. Nothing but simply you can write class student. Let me create a data type which is student. Like int is also a class, student will be our class here. Now this is the way of creating class. Your class is created. Now how to insert the variables here which we will be needing here. Think of a scenario where we need to keep track of many details of a student. For example, first name, last name, and roll number. So here what you will do? We will use those variables. So first name is a variable, last name is a variable, and roll number. But where does this value comes from in this class? For that one, we have to create an initialization function that whenever this any instance of the student class is created, these values we need to pass so that it gets assigned. As like this a is an object of this int class, similarly while creating a variable using of data type student, we have to create an instance or object, right? So at that time we need to pass the values, and for that instance we will be saving the values. So here we have to create a int function. What will be the values passed to this one? By default self needs to be passed, which will be calling the instance which will be creating. So this self, then first name. As you know how when a function is created we pass the parameters and those we use. Similarly here we also have to pass those parameters and assign them. First name, last name, and role. Okay. So in this way we will be creating our first class. Fine. Now as this class is already created, let's create an instance like this one. So maybe consider the case of first student, student 1, student 1 equal to of this student variable. As we are passing the value like 5 in int class, here we will be passing the other values. Let the first name be Rakesh and second name be D'Souza. comma, and his roll number is 1. So we have the details of this first student. To get the details of the student, we have to just give the student variable name, right? No, but this is not the case here. Here we have to do some tweaking, as this is our customized data type. We need to pass some function so that it becomes easier for that one to understand how to represent the value. But let me first show you what is the issue we will be getting if we want to see the student variable here. See, this I have done wrong. This will be init. So now if we run, you will see what is we are getting. Let me clear the screen for you. Let me run the program. If you see, if I print student, 5 is printing as it is class int, but if we are printing student, main student at this is showing the object position. Let also get the type of this one. So you will be understanding the similarity and getting to know. See, this is of class int and this is of class main student. In main we have a student class. That class is the type of this student variable. So now to get the original value, we have to create a function here which is already created for the int by Python developers. But here, as we are creating this manually, we have to add one wrapper function, or you can use str function. But whatever it is, you can create any using this one. This will return what? This value. This instance, whatever we have, first name, last name, and role. So here we can pass like this one, correct? We have to also pass self dot so that it understands that which instance we are using. So now if we are passing this one and running this one, see whatever we are getting class int. Oh, I have still using type here. Let me change it to student. So we will be getting this print type A, which let me comment out so that it becomes easier. Now we have created a class student, and you see that as A equal to int 5, we also created student 1. As A is an instance of the int class having value 5, student is also an instance of the student class having these values. Let me see the value of student 1. What is the issue we are getting here? It's not specified here. So here also we have to specify the instances. So if you specify the instances, then only it will be able to get these values from this instance. Now when I am trying to print this value, we are getting Rakesh, last name D'Souza, and role is 1. Let me clear this one. So if I try to run this one, you see we are getting this value role 1, and first name is Rakesh and last name is D'Souza. Now let us try to create another instance from our command line. So for that one, we have to use this -i option before the file so that it gives us the command line in Python where we can use these details. So let me create a student 2 here. For which class? Student. Passing value Ramesh Gonzalez. Roll number 2. So let me see if we can get to know what is the student 2 details is having. See, first name is Ramesh, last name is Gonzalez, and role is 2. Let me exit from the instance. So this is very much simple. Let me go through once again. Like we know, I have already said as int is a class, similarly the student is a class. So what is a class? A class is nothing but a data type or customizable data type. So if you are thinking of a scenario of class in a school, for example class 8, in class 8 there may be 10 students. In those 10 students details, all everyone's details I have to save. For example, what approach we can take? We can take an approach of a dictionary, but for that one we have to create 10 separate dictionaries and we have to write a lot of code. But if we create a variable student1 of the student class, like similarly I can create 10 student variables of using the student class and put all their details, and only I have to use the dot notation and the variable name to get the details. Let me get only the role for the student. Will it work? Let us see, we are getting the roll number. Print, we can add here roll is plus student dot roll. I want to see only the roll. What it is saying? Cannot concatenate str with not into str. So I have to also make it convert to str. So here what we are doing? See, we are also calling the star class. Str class to convert this one with str and concatenate with roll. So see, roll is 1. So any variable of a instance you can call using this dot notation. So how many details you need here? All the details you can add here and save the values according to your needs. Understood? Thank you guys. This is the basic introduction of the class, and stay tuned for more details and all other functionalities which we can do with our class. Thank you. Stay happy.